Welcome to this comprehensive masterclass on patella fractures. Over the next few minutes, we will explore the principles of extensor mechanism integrity, the biomechanics of tension band fixation, and the decision-making frameworks that guide surgical management. The patella is the largest sesamoid bone in the body and is absolutely critical to knee extension, accounting for around 1% of all skeletal fractures. It typically injures through either a direct blow, such as a dashboard strike, or an indirect eccentric contraction during a fall. The key clinical markers are a palpable gap, joint swelling, and crucially, an inability to straight leg raise, with operative fixation generally indicated if fragment displacement exceeds 2 to 3 millimeters. Patella fractures are broadly categorized by their fracture pattern, which directly dictates your surgical strategy. Transverse fractures are the most common at 50% and are well suited to tension band techniques, whereas comminuted patterns present a reconstruction challenge. Less frequent are inferior pole avulsions and vertical or sagittal fractures, the latter of which are often stable and managed conservatively. In the AO or OTA system, the patella is designated as bone 34. Extra-articular avulsions fall under type A. Partial articular fractures such as vertical splits are type B, and complete articular injuries make up type C. This framework neatly parallels your descriptive classification, with type C3 corresponding to the comminuted patterns that are so challenging to reconstruct. When deciding between conservative and operative management, the GAPS mnemonic ensures you never miss a critical operative indication. You must consider surgery if there is a fracture gap over 2 to 3 millimeters, a loss of active knee extension, or a patellofemoral articular step exceeding 2 millimeters. If any of these features are present, the extensor mechanism or joint surface is sufficiently compromised to warrant fixation. To understand why we manage these fractures so carefully, remember the patella's function through the LEVER mnemonic. It acts as a lever arm, increasing extensor power by up to 50% by elevating the quadriceps tendon away from the joint's center of rotation. It also bears variable contact forces depending on the degree of knee flexion and relies heavily on the surrounding medial and lateral retinacular tissues for structural tension. The brilliance of patellar fixation lies in converting harmful tensile forces into beneficial articular compression. During knee flexion, the anterior cortex is subjected to tension while the articular surface undergoes compression. By placing a figure of 8 wire anteriorly across the fracture, this construct actively pulls the fragments together, and the compression dynamically increases as the patient begins to bend their knee. Your management algorithm must always begin by assessing active extension before administering analgesia, as intact retinoculi can sometimes mask a fractured patella. Non-operative treatment with a cylinder cast is appropriate for fractures with minimal displacement and a preserved straight leg raise. For displaced transverse fractures, cannulated screws with a tension band are increasingly preferred over K-wires. While severely comminuted injuries may require partial patellectomy, taking care to preserve as much bone as possible. Several key statistics help frame the expectations and complications following these injuries. Half of all traditional tension band wiring cases will eventually require a second surgery for painful, prominent hardware. Furthermore, patients face a 40 to 50% long-term risk of patellofemoral arthritis over 10 to 20 years. And if a total patellectomy becomes necessary, it permanently reduces extensor strength by roughly 30%. Consider a 45-year-old who presents with knee pain and a minimally displaced transverse fracture after a fall. The single most critical clinical finding to determine your management is whether they can perform an active straight leg raise. If they can actively extend against gravity, the retinoculi and extensor mechanism are functionally intact, meaning conservative management is entirely appropriate provided the displacement remains under 2 millimeters. When fixing a simple displaced transverse patella fracture, the preferred construct is a cannulated screw tension band technique. Placing parallel screws provides excellent interfragmentary compression, and adding an anterior figure-of-8 wire creates a dynamic tension band across the fixation. Current evidence demonstrates this approach yields superior knee motion, higher functional scores, and significantly fewer reoperations for hardware removal compared to traditional K-wire constructs.